can't carry I want to get a portable crane, but I can't carry it.
Welcome to the trade-offs we make in delving.
I have to leave my flamethrower
Let me
behind.
see what. Oh, we're not leaving the flamethrower behind. I'm sorry.
That's crazy talk. You're actually going to be heading off to what's his name? So you did all the guild. You kind of met with the guild folk last time, as I recall. You did the interview. You talked about, we've discovered amazing things. They said, great, we should send you off to go and find out what's going on. They're sending you off initially on the Akhander, which is the cruiser, not the great ship. And we're going to send you, first of all, to Gahand, which is not too far as the ship travels. I think this is it. Just pull up the map. Yeah, so you're in Jamua. Gahand is just. Oh, did I activate it? No, I did not.
No.
I opened it up on my side, but you guys can't.
There we go.
So you're just going there.
Yeah.
Right.
But once you go there, this is Ariga, Ninhulam, Habantum. Those are the
So really, Gahand is the gateway to the Hammurabi Arm.
Correct. Now you actually can choose whether you go, which direction you go. So you can go to Ninhulam, Ariga, or Habanatum, in any of those directions. For your awareness, you see the Hiram's, you see the Kiefer Shoals there, the Kefeta Shoals. That's an area of some risk. So is the Great Vortex.
Yeah.
So the choices you make will influence how easy or hard the trip is. Obviously, if you go to Habanatam first, you're taking some pretty big risks, but you're going as far. Now, you guys don't actually know. So the reason you're here is the Singularity Sphere sent out a ping and got an instantaneous response back in the general direction of the Hammurabi Arm. And so the ask is go to the Hammurabi Arm and explore it with an intent to locating the whatever responded back to you.
Okay. Lily,
yes.
There was that stuff that we had to do to get permission to go to a certain library.
Yeah, there were actually a few things that weren't shopping that I had thought maybe we could do before leaving.
Sure.
Okay.
So one was the bird, which we've done.
Yep. Okay, I hope someone else did that because I didn't. So there's something called the Ninhulam Archive, and you need to get written permission from the Navigators Guild HQ in Ship City to then take to the place. So I just thought we should get that while we're still in Ship City rather than showing up there.
And so go to Ninhulam, as in if you go to Ninhulam, then you can go to the library if you've got written permission.
Yeah, so you need to get that in Ship City. So yeah,
right.
Sort of adjacent. Sorry.
No, don't worry. I was just looking at Ninhulam's name. Go, continue.
Sort of adjacent to that was something I was thinking. With Aman having the gardener connections and Jess, even and Nilat, even though maybe they're slightly reluctant having the Navigator Guild connections. Maybe they could sort of go to their respective guilds and be like, oh, like, I'm not telling the others about this, but you know how you were sort of like, I don't know, cucked out of this expedition because we didn't choose any of you. Hey, how about I act as like your information
Liaison.
source, and in exchange you can give me like some guild tech, or you can give me some extra information that keep me updated, give me a little pass to get into all of those places. And even if you don't hold up your end of the bargain at all, or just send them stuff that's like not really important or even misleading, but just pretend like, or
Yeah.
broadly hint maybe that you could, do a quid pro quo with them, and then, just try to leverage your connections as much as possible. Do you think that would be?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Nalit to go to the Navigators Guild and request access to the archive and do whatever needs to be done for that.
Well, then the question is Nalette re-embracing the Navigators Guild? All is forgiven, Nalette. You just need to return to the fold, and agree to be our bunny on the ship.
Just fake it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've all... Has everyone else met Nalette? Because faking anything is not really Nalette's strong point.
Hey, I'm used to having a character that's not good at faking stuff, but you can always give it as Mike said, a red hot college go, I believe was the phrase.
Give it the whole college
And see how well that one went.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Nalette might frame it badly. Because she acted out of the best interest for the guild as she saw them. And actually, I mean, she wasn't very impressed by the Machinists Guild in the end because she's not up for murder, even if she doesn't agree with those people. So, yeah, no, she's going to have to go back and try to make amends.
Well, you can make amends by, recommitting yourself to the mission of the Navigators Guild.
And what is the mission?
Well, to provide safe and secure travel, to provide the right kind of leadership to the Lost Horizon,
to guide humanity.
Yeah, and of course, to ensure, in alignment with all of those very good desires, that the right people are making the right decisions. And I think the right people is the bit that they really need you to pay attention to, right? Like, the leadership of the Navigators Guild are the right people to be leading, the people of Jamua and the broader context. And of course, you, I know that you currently work for this upstart, this effectively startup guild, in the Explorers Guild, like Johnny Come Latelys, who, whatever. Yeah. But we all know that the real story here is ensuring that the right outcome is achieved through this process.
Yep. Millie is going to grow a little bit as a person and bite her tongue about these right people with the right leadership.
The right people with the right leadership.
We haven't quite seen the evidence that they are the right people or providing the right leadership, but
well, of course, you might have your doubts about, the Navigators Guild. Lots of people within the Navigators Guild have doubts about the Navigators Guild. Yeah. But remember that it's those other guilds we've got to keep an eye on. And if you scratch the Navigators Guild back, the Navigators Guild will scratch your back.
Yeah. So she's going to, bite her tongue and be like, okay, we can do that because we really do need access to information.
All right, so is Nalette, so very serious question, is Nalette attempting to dissemble, so attempting to, not necessarily perhaps tell the whole truth and the complete truth, and is she intending to at least mostly accord to the Navigators Guild's intent, or is she fundamentally, I'm just doing this so I can get access to shit, and then, I've got absolutely no loyalty to them?
I think she's going to go for 80% loyalty.
Right, so she's pretty signed up. She understands that she's signing up pretty strongly to the Navigators Guild. And in return for that, the Navigators Guild will, and particularly the Conclave of Eyes, which is the sort of leadership group that works for the Archmandrite, will be keen to get regular updates on things, and keen also for you to keep your eyes on people who represent the other guilds. Milrook, just for your awareness, Milrook, Milrouk, Grand, the Eye of the Conclave, will be your direct, not your liaison, but your direct sort of manager.
Yeah.
Like handler?
Handler.
Handler's such a pejorative word. I mean, when we throw in words like handler, it sounds like they're asking Nalette to be a spy.
Yeah.
It sounds so sinister.
Yeah, exactly. It sounds so sinister when obviously that's not what they're doing.
Like I noticed I put a handler in the notes.
Yeah, good.
So what was his title? He was the
Eye of the Conclave.
Eye of the Conclave.
Yeah. Who will, be your contact. Now, recognizing that they are sending you off into the darkness, they will provide you, and remembering that you were originally training, of course, to be an actual, lighthouse / navigator, like you were training to be a proper navigator. They will actually provide you with a astrolabe.
Ooh.
Which is a tool explicitly designed to allow you to navigate the Slipstream.
Yes, I saw that, and I was even thinking about buying one, but I did not. So
but you can't. Well, you could buy it now, but they're giving you one as a gift.
Yeah.
Well, not a gift. A loan, whatever. Anyway, let's not go on.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. You've got one in your back pocket, as it were.
Yeah. That'll be on the ship, won't it? Because that's where we'll be navigating the Slipstream.
Yeah.
Right.
And they'll also produce. And I think they'll also give you the other one. What's the other one? The Astro. Not the Lab.
Oh yeah, I got that one too.
The one that works for flat space.
Compass.
Yeah.
Yes, the Astro Compass.
Yeah. So they will, in return, because they want to make sure that you're, getting back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the thing they're very interested in, outside of if you discover the Nadir they want to know, is there's pretty strong evidence that the sphere, the Singularity Sphere, communicates faster than the speed of light. So the whole reason that they were keen on the Singularity Sphere is it pinged when you guys touched it, and it got basically an instantaneous response from another star system.
Yeah.
Which means faster than the Slipstream, faster than the speed of light.
Space was folded so that the 2 points could touch at once.
Yeah, so they're very keen on understanding how that technology works. So
yeah.
Technically, this is something that you could do on the journey there, but that weird language that you were hearing in your dreams, if you trusted them enough, you could ask your Trappo and Gars Boodleb about that. So you heard the old ancient language, and I believe at that point in the game, they suggested that the Coriolites might know the ancient history and languages about the vision dream
Yep.
you saw.
Oh,
So
okay.
you could potentially, if you don't trust your Trapo, there's other Coriolites here. I don't think we really know many of them though. Otherwise, like it's just something on the journey. Maybe you could ask your Trapo or Gar. He's been around. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if they know much of the
Okay.
history and legends and that sort of thing, or about the language itself.
Yep. Okay. That sounds a good plan.
All right. So just to remind you, you bought Benny. He's on the ship with you. All right. So with that in mind, it's an older ship, like a lot of the cruisers, because they predate the development of the great ships. It is intended to operate. It's not as secure. Um, can I get? Well, first of all, do any of you want to do any research on the Akhander's history or crew complement? Anything that you might be able to discover before you get on the ship?
Yeah, I think Ben would. He is pretty mission orientated. He wants to know who he's working with. He's probably not as good at the research in terms of like um, the archaeology and all of that sort of thing. But I like from going from his history, he was in a position of command, sort of. So yeah, the whole that side of things, I think he'd be interested in knowing beforehand. He likes to be prepared.
Okay. Logic or insight, your choice.
Okay.
Well, actually, are you trying to know things about the ship's history or about the crew?
I think he'd be more on the side of the crew. He wants to know like who he's working with, what he's got, or like the ship itself at the moment. The history maybe less of an issue for him.
Okay. So, is this information you can pull out of like crew information, manifests, and those sorts of things, or is it hanging around in the bars and other places at the docks?
I think the former. He'd be more into the he just wants the facts sort of thing.
Okay, so then it's logic. Ooh, wow, that's impressive. All right, so um, the captain is the captain has the current captain Sab Amido Dulas is registered as the commander of the ship. However, one thing you notice straight away, well, one thing you notice in your research is they have not signed off on anything in over a year.
Oh.
All of the signing off has been done by the first officer, Indria Kanda, or by Mirima, Merrima, Yakul, who is identified as the first pilot.
Okay, that's interesting. Perhaps he's more of a hands-off captain, and I didn't see that thing about the sick captain in the chat.
Exactly.
If that's the case, that's not a great practice for a leader. They should be really doing this stuff. They shouldn't be delegating when it's important like this. But he'll leave his final judgment up to when they meet the ship's captain. Anything else stand out about the crew or the ship itself?
The ship has three masters. There's three masters of the ship, which means three sort of faction, sort of representatives. There's the master algebraist, Elenin, Eilenin, Runas, Rounas. The master engineer Gita Haspor, and the Master Sentinel, Orchid Belechion, Beleichon.
Sorry, what was the last one? Master Orchidist?
Master Sentinel, whose name is Orchid.
Okay, so Master Engineer, Master Sentinel, and the first one was
Algebrist is the Master Navigator, basically.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, and finally, both the captain and the first officer are members in good standing of the Navigators Guild. So this ship is Navigator Guild managed and run, which is pretty common. Like, it's actually, but there are a couple of ships that are actually run by other factions. This is not one of them.
Yeah. And I guess seeing as the Navigator, Milrock seemed to be the one that was leading that meeting a bit, it would make sense that they're sort of taking a leading role in this as well.
Yeah. But that's what you find out about the crew, because that's what you were looking at. Does anyone else want to do any before we get on the ship research on anything?
I'd probably look at the ship itself.
Okay.
Just out of a technical perspective. So, yeah.
Give me
and
a
it probably will be
logic.
research.
Give me a logic roll, please.
Sure. Logic, that's that one. There we go. No.
No.
I'm not going to push that.
Yeah. Built in 162.
She's a squeaky ship.
She's a squeaky ship. She's a bit old. She was built because the great ships were bigger and more expensive, and there was a belief that smaller, faster ships would be the right answer. Although all of the cruisers are actually slower than great ships, so that's a weird statement. Yeah, basically. Actually, what you do know is, for the last decade, the Akhander was mothballed, and was only travelling in flat space around Jamua. So it wasn't in the slipstreams. So someone has dug it out of its mothball status, turned on its slipstream turbines, and is putting it out.
Okay.
They have so much faith in our mission.
Lucky us.
As soon as the man gets back, he does an equipment check on his suit just to make sure.
Check those seals. Is that what we're saying?
Absolutely. Right.
Pripyat or Nalette, anything you guys want to do any research on?
No, I think Nalette is just busy, like, getting back into good standing with the navigators so that we have that access. That's what she's been doing.
And I think Pripyat was just making sure he was physically right to go, like, because he had a broken leg. He's over that now.
He's over that.
Sure
That's true.
Look, it's, you're in a better place now than you've ever been.
I mean, he might have got measured up for some kind of officer's uniform in the interim, but
Nice.
I'm thinking, Michael Jackson style kind of things, epaulettes and got the chains.
Nice.
And the single glove.
Are you doing? That's a good question. Are you doing the single glove, buddy?
Yeah, and his salute is Shamo, that kind of thing. That's the salute, but yeah,
nice.
He's working that in.
Taking a lot of blows to the head lately.
You're going to need to teach the officers to salute you like that.
Yeah, it's funny how he broken leg, but it's affected his brains.
Well, that's how he got into dancing.
Oh dear. I guess before they leave, Ben might shoot off a quick message to his family They're in the far colonies, but he tries to stay in contact a bit. And also now he's on a big important job. Maybe they'll finally get off his back about coming back to get a real job in the trading concern, because the brother's a captain now.
Yeah,
Did he
exactly.
tell you the last time?
Yeah. I mean, so you guys board the ship with everyone else. There's a lot of people boarding the ship, obviously. There are actually representatives of various guilds. There's additional crew being taken on. There's a lot of supplies being added to the ship's structure, supplies. It's expected it's going to be away for close to a year, give or take. I mean, the trip along the Kefita line, that's like 12, 14, that's 13 weeks. So if you take the Slipstream along that line. It's 6 weeks to Ninhalam. I think it's about 8 or 10 weeks to Auriga, and then it's another 6 or 8 weeks between Auriga and Habanatam. So by the time you add all of that up, you're getting pretty close to 2/3 of a year.
Right, the long trip.
And Gahand is 4 weeks travel from Jamur.
A real expedition. Excellent.
Yeah, you're going to be gone for a good long while. Like, you won't be back for nigh on 12 months. So there's an expectation you will resupply, particularly at Gahand. Ninhalam is actually not too shoddy as well. It's a reasonably, a pretty stable colony.
Really? Oh, that one sounded pretty shitty, but anyway. Sorry.
They're all shit, so that's the good news. But anyway, go forth and find us the secrets that you've been tasked with, and please, feel free. And Benny's along with you. The Black Toad have also very helpfully reminded you of the favours that they've given you, of course, in return for certain favours you've done for them, but they'd like to keep that, that favour relationship building forward. And your Treppo will be bringing his shuttle and coming along.
Nice.
Awesome.
So he's wearing the white mask with the red cross on it. So as you recall...
Important question.
Yes, please.
Does it still have the yellow paint down the front, or has he managed to clean it?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I think he's decided it's part of the look now. I think he's decided it's part of the look.
It's a new fashion now.
It's what he's doing. He's not he's not afraid of it. He's gonna wear it. Now, as you know, so the ship builds up speed in flat space and takes you actually to the place at Jamur that you come from, Nalette, which is the last station on the way out.
Yeah.
Which is where you come from. But there's nothing to worry about here. What are the masters? What does it say about master? Sentinel is the life support officer. Right, so that's the Gardener's Guild. The Algebraist is the Navigator, and the Engineer is the Machinist Guild. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is just a shakedown trip. Nothing to worry about here. The captain... so you board the ship. You are greeted as you enter the ship by what's her name? By the first officer, who's very happy to chat with you. Indra Kanda greets you at the entrance to the ship. So as you guys are sort of boarding, your shuttle is loaded onto the ship, and your shuttle has the rover in it. Now, you'll have rooms on the ship, so you don't have to stay in your shuttle. Of course, you can choose to stay in your shuttle. I'll allow you to determine what you do there. Actually, that's a good question. What are you doing there?
Oh, Nelly is definitely upgrading to a real room.
Right, you're not doing the bunk on the bunks?
No. She's
Are you
never
not even
had
going to
a real
stay in the
room.
rover?
She's never had a real room of her own. She is jumping at this chance.
Did you arrange for people to... I can't remember if you guys ended up becoming slumlords or not. Can someone remind me? No, you didn't become
No.
slumlords.
We did not. We dreamed of it, but
Oh.
no.
I mean, that would have been fun. But I think Ben also wants a room on the ship.
Okay. Pripyat, are you going to be staying on the shuttle, or are you going to be living it up in a cabin of your own?
I think a cabin.
Cabin. I mean,
Pripyat wanted the captain's quarters, right? His stuff would look great there.
It would look great there. Yes, nice cabin. I won't go for the captain's thing yet, but obviously, once everyone sees how good Pripyat is, then that will just be a natural progression.
okay, so finally, Aman, are you living on the ship, or are you living in one of those very palatial cabins?
I'm not sure I'm used to palatial cabins, so I'm going to hang around the ship.
Yeah, to be clear,
There is maintenance. Yeah.
There is. So the palatial cabins are approximately 3 to 3.5 meters long and about 2.5 to 3 meters wide.
I mean, having a room where you can stretch your arms out completely and not share with another person or multiple people is something that Nalette has never experienced in her life.
No, I think that's right. I think for Nalette, it's a transformative moment of I can spin around in the middle of the room and not touch the walls when I do so.
And then fall onto your bed backwards.
Yeah.
I think that she probably actually does that when she goes in, right?
Yes, so much.
What is this?
And that there's a space to store items, and she can put her fancy clothes in a wardrobe. She'll be standing there just opening the cupboard up and look at that.
All right, so you guys are going to have cabins, but Aman is going to stay on the shuttle. That's what
I've got to make sure the robot's fine as well.
Yeah.
Break all that stuff in, so...
You might be sharing with Rado, because I think Dan has said in the past that Rado just stays on the ship at all times.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You can have a
Trying to break out that deck of cards.
So with that in mind, then you guys are all... So when you board, as you may recall from the last trip, first of all, so let's talk a little bit about the style of the ship. So this ship is pretty poorly maintained. So where the last ship you went on, remember, it was all sort of super shiny and pretty. This ship is
falling apart.
And was falling apart underneath that. Yep, that's the one. This ship is actually a little bit rust worn, a little bit worn overall. It's obviously been doing pretty ordinary duty. One thing you did work out with that little bit of research about the fact that it had been unmothballed recently. It actually also had a pretty low crew complement, because when it's just doing flat space, it doesn't carry a full crew. So they've now bolstered that with a whole bunch of new... So when you guys are boarding, also a whole bunch of new crew is boarding.
Okay.
And the ship itself has had pretty low maintenance as a result of just not having enough people. You are invited, of course, to the... to meet with the first officer, Indria Kandar. She's very keen to meet you. She brings Mirama Yakul, and she also brings the 3 masters. So the master algebrist, Elenin, the master engineer, Geta, and the master sentinel, Orchid. So the sentinel is a member of the Gardeners Guild, just to remind you, is responsible for life support. So they greet you formally. Indria is, sort of very direct about a number of things. and welcomes you to sit at the table. They're going to eat a small meal. This isn't the official starting of the trip meal, which of course is only undertaken when we're entering Slipstream space. This is just the welcome onto the ship. You people I need to pay attention to, so tell me what you'd like. So she's sitting there. There's a bunch of people there. What do you guys want to do? Like, tell me, what does Pripyat do when exposed to this opportunity for social interaction?
Pripyat has taken some time. He has some clothes. He readjusts his thing. He spends some time, obviously, meditating and making sure that he looks his finest. So when he goes, he sort of sweeps into the hall. I'm not sure if there are cards or things like that, but he just makes his way in a procession of one directly to the captain's table and just sits. He doesn't sit in the captain's chair. And if someone sort of, sir, can I help you? Thank you, thank you very much. I know where I'm going. Cheers. And he just goes and sits and sort of makes it almost like, without being offensive, but just like it is his due and his right. He'll sort of have a look around and make some nods and things to people that he probably doesn't really know, but understands that many of the people on the ship, the people who are sitting sort of up above the salt, as it were, probably know who he is. And so, yes, he's making an entrance. It's hard to miss him. He's got his makeup sort of, redone. He's taken some time to get himself sort of set, and because he's up and about, like he hasn't been for a little while, and he knows we're going somewhere, he's got to put that fucking suit on, and probably put himself in danger again. He's soaking up the air of civility while it's available.
Okay. All right. So, Pripyat, the first thing you realise is the captain is not here.
Is there one seat bigger than the other or grander than the others?
I mean, there's the captain's chair at the end of the table. It's currently being sat in by in this woman, Indria.
India.
Right. Well, he'll just he'll go and sit near her, I guess. Like as I said, like it's his due and his right. Good evening, my dear. The captain will not be gracing us with his presence this evening?
No, so the captain will not. No, he's otherwise detained. He's a private man. It's unlikely that you will meet him.
Right. Can I psychology that to see if she's lying?
You can. No, you can if you want. You can make a insight roll.
Yeah, I might try and is it just because he's very private, or is there something else sort of happening? If I can do an insight roll, I will. Hang on, I've forgotten how to do everything. Insight. Oh, it's only here. Okay. Watch me fuck the first one up.
No, you got it.
Yeah, one success.
Right.
Not so much from Indria, who just sort of delivers the message pretty directly and cleanly, but you do notice the three masters kind of give a bit of a grimace when she provides that statement.
Right, so there's something that they all know that he does not know about the captain.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and then in that case, he'll take that ostensibly as it is, but he'll make a mental note of that and try and, where possible, sort of guide conversations back. The captain is missing on a fine repast, and the wine and the company it is fantastic. Shall perhaps and just try and see if he can scratch out any more information, and perhaps from the ones who did the looks, he might at some point engage them in conversation a little bit more separate than from Indra, did you say it was?
Yeah.
And just try and eke out some more information. Look, he's not too fussed about being obvious, but he's very curious about why the captain isn't there.
Okay. All right. So that's what Pripyat's doing. What about the rest of you? The first officer's basically really just seeing this as a bit of a let's introduce ourselves to each other. Doesn't seem to have much of a agenda. Is keen for your initial thoughts, if you have any preference after we pass through Gahand, about whether we go to Ninhalam or whether we go to one of the further parts of the Hammurabi arm. But beyond that, no particular emphasis or interest.
I think Nalette is going to just chatter on a little bit inanely. She's a bit overawed. Just kind of like nervously talking. But she does say that she'd really like to go to Ninhalum. Since she's actually gone to all the trouble of getting back in the good graces of the Navigators Guild, she is pretty keen to go and see his archives and find out what information is in there.
All right. Well, that's a useful piece of information and might influence our first trip, because we can obviously avoid the Hiram's Delta and the shoals if we go by Ninhalam, but we will have to pass through either the Great Vortex or Auriga, and the Abduli's End, which is like effectively it's there's a risk that we end up in dead space.
Oh, that's a little terrifying.
There are no easy paths through the Hammurabi arm.
Yeah.
Is the simple truth. There are rumours of sort of a kind of Northwest Passage story between Gamura and some parts of the Hammurabi arm, but no one has found them yet.
Oh. Well, so Nalette is going to file that away and think, this might be something to research in the library.
It might.
Explorer's notes and things. That's the kind of thing she'll be looking for.
Okay.
Oh, that was the other thing, was reading the information we had, was working out the best estimate for the binary star that was going to return at any time now, and whether it was going to be something whilst we're out here. One of the systems, I think it actually has a binary star that's straight off and it does a big orbit.
Yeah.
So
that's
that was
in
the other thing. And that might be another navigator thing. But anyway. All right.
Well, you've got plenty of time to research it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's probably what I'll be doing as well. But anyway.
See where it is.
So I think that's in Auriga, and then it's got its smaller secondary star, Zubi.
Zubi, that's the one.
So, oh yeah. Zubi, there it is. Little Zubi.
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 All right, so
anyway.
The ship. All right, so does anyone else?
I'll talk to the Gardeners Guild guy, and talk about maintenance things and what gardens are on board and et cetera, all the exciting stuff.
So,
yeah,
go on.
I was going to say, and I'm sure there's going to be some really exciting stuff that we'll discover on our journeys to it.
Well, I mean, obviously, already through the Gardeners Guild, the rumour of the flower that was found on the body of the dead explorer that you guys found.
Did I mention that I was the one that picked the flower from the?
What?
From the. It seemed to be right that a gardener would have the flower presented to them.
I could not agree more. This is amazing. So, and did you what did you do you, I assume you do not have the flower anymore, though?
No, the guild has it. I'm to understand that they've never seen or have any record of a flower like this.
Oh,
I certainly haven't seen any in my travels.
oh, but and you have hopes that we will discover this flower again?
I do. I hope it is actually at the end of the signal that we
Oh.
are trying to find.
Um,
How that explorer ended up here with that flower is a mystery, but who knows?
Well, and indeed, and the fact that it is, first of all, a flower that we did not bring with us. It's not actually a flower that's recognised, right? So it's not from the third horizon. And two, it was without blight. So it's a big deal. So they're very, so it's very clear that they are very excited by the flower, and indeed want to ensure that the Gardeners Guild, are the first ones, because this flower offers the promise of a blight-free place.
Future. That's right.
A place where things grow naturally.
Untainted.
Yeah, and that would transform the world. So we hope that is what we discover. And will you and do you have specific gardener training, or did you come from the orchids, which is the orange guard, sorry, which is the more militant side of the Gardeners Guild?
No, I actually came from the botanical side, but I was more in charge of the hydroponic systems and.
So you have actual
those.
expertise that we could use on the ship then?
Indeed, I'm at your disposal if you want me to look at your systems.
Oh, well, I mean, we can always use any. Well, it's good to know that we'll have other people with the necessary information. So let's not forget that in this. Yes, absolutely. All right, so they're very keen to interact with you on what might or might not be, assistance that they would seek in the future.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Definitively. Now, Mike, you were going to use some of your time to sort of try and, you can see that the gardening guild person is completely, kind of caught up in whatever conversation's going on over there. But you can talk to the other two if you want.
Yes. Well, so is everyone on board kind of across exactly what's happening and what we're doing, the mission and such, or is that still...
No, everyone's the ship has been pulled out of, well, I mean, not officially talked about, but yes, there is an understanding that there is a big thing worthy of exploration. Yes.
Well, I suppose Pripyat would obviously, use this a little bit, obviously as the respected leader of the group that found this thing or is in charge of this sort of search. He will try and, I suppose he was interested to find out what other people know or what they think they know. He's going to be quite he's going to be a little bit tight-lipped about exactly what the nature of things are, and just things like perhaps some ancient technology, mysteries to be solved, things like that. And of course, they call upon the best people to help with that. So, but I suppose he's trying to get a feel. a little bit with the last ship we were on. There was obviously some issues with the different groups, and there was a attempted coup that we may or may not have been involved in. So he's mindful of that, and wants to see. Already he's seen the three officers sort of, pull faces about something about the captain. So he's trying to find, I suppose, a little bit about the currents, what's happening with the political currents, and also find out whether they have. I'm sorry, I've got a cat's butt in my face. If there are any sort of archaeologists, other archaeologists on board, and try and find them in the course of the next little journey to find out what they think's happening, and maybe not fill them in, but find out where their skills lie, and how they might be of use to us sort of moving forward.
Well, as long as, and I'm sure that Pripyat starts on the opinion that, of use in the sense that they might be able to provide assistance to you.
Yes, of course, yeah. That's pretty much. And if he finds one that he likes, who's clever enough, but also looking for advancement, then he may even look for a protege or something like that. So It's more politics game for him.
All right. So after a short meal, is Nalette talking to anyone, doing anything? Is Ben talking to anyone, doing anything?
Nalette will have a little chat to everyone, but it's very inconsequential, I think.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And is Ben seeking out anyone?
I think Ben might be sitting with Zero Van Dow and Gar Lab and just sort of more talking to them about delving, what sort of problems they might face, that sort of thing. Otherwise, is there a person on the ship who's like in charge of more of the, I don't know, military or fighting or just that? Sorry, I'm losing my words.
As in, is there a Marine or someone who's responsible
I guess so.
for
Like
ship's
someone who's
quarter?
organising the fighting side of things, because I assume we're not the only ones with, that.
I don't know. Let me have a look.
Okay, we're on our own. Great, love to hear it.
Let's have a look. Security. Guard master. There you go. The guard master is Malquise, MAL, and then second name Cuisse, CUISSE. But there's only one.
Oh.
So there's the guard master Malquise, who has explicitly has the keys to the weapons locker on the ship.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And there is a second in charge, a deck watch. So the person who's responsible for organising watches on the deck and reports to the guard master, Nadir. Now both of them, Ben can probably make an insight roll, and you can throw any talents you think are relevant to understanding, soldierly capability or military capability or just straight up guard capability. You've got bodyguard, don't you?
I've got bodyguard, yeah.
Yeah, I know it doesn't normally add dice, but you can add a dice to your insight roll for having bodyguard.
Yeah, and I don't know, I guess given the history, that just makes sense. So I add one, and then I roll.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow, Ben's on fire. All right, so Ben.
I like that everything that makes sense for my history, I'm actually succeeding on this game.
So Ben. So you're a bit of an expert at this whole bodyguarding, guarding, setting up watches, managing risk. These two people appear in your mind to be people no one else they couldn't find any other useful job for at all. So Mal is the second cousin of the captain, and Nadir is about 70. And whilst I'm not being ageist, it does appear that they might not be at peak experience or expertise, and they are, after all, the person responsible for setting up all the watches, including the one that they're meant to undertake.
Okay. So I guess during this conversation, Ben's not sure whether this is. No, I'm pretty sure he's sure this isn't a great thing. Maybe they just don't get into combat and stuff much, but he's already thinking about how he's planning to he's sort of falling back into his old job, and he's thinking, okay, we've got to get some training done on this. We've got to make sure that everyone knows the drills. We've got to make sure that everyone, if there's problems, we are going to be on this, and also just try to make sure these people don't stop that. So try to be nice to them and stuff. But still, he's planning to be like, okay, obviously, I'm gonna have to sort this out. This is not good enough.
Yeah, and they when you say we have to, do you tell them that we have to organise drills, or is this all internal monologue stuff for Ben?
So yeah, this is internal monologue stuff because, as I said, he also realizes enough of the political side of this that you don't want to make waves or make enemies. However, he also maybe gets the impression that they'd be pretty glad to hand some of these duties off if the suggestion was made in the right way.
Yeah, you don't think they're gonna particularly resist you doing things.
Yeah.
They might resist you saying you're taking over their job.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be doing that side of it. It's more just, how about this sort of thing? Oh, it might be helpful if this happened. Would you like me to do this sort of thing?
Exactly. So, Ulmer in particular is very happy for you to organise or do as much or as little of the guard dutying management as you want. Malquise seems to have decided his whole role is holding on to the key to the armory.
Okay, he can keep the key, but as long as we can get access as we reasonably need to.
I mean, he makes the point that, well, allow me if I may. Yes, I just want to reassure you that we have enough weapons to arm 16 members of the crew with pistols and or rifles.
Long pause.
Yes, so which is quite a heady amount.
Don't we as a group as well?
Yeah, you've got enough weapons between all of you to arm 16 people.
I think we actually have more weapons between us than all of them. Okay, so I think Ben is now thinking, okay, so maybe I'm going to have to make some hand-to-hand weapons and that sort of thing and train people.
Oh, no, he said. Well, no. Oh, it's all good, though, because that's just the rifles. I mean, we have 12 axes as well, 12 hull axes, which are kind of like boarding axes. So we've got those as well. So, yeah, no, it's all good. But, of course, I mean, it's been a while since it's been pulled out. As a matter of fact, and Malquise sort of goes off on a bit of a rant at this point, because he goes, yes, well, we haven't had to pull them out in a long time. I mean, the captain used to make us run drills all the time, but I mean, that hasn't happened for ages. So, I think which suggests that we've, it's all good.
Of course. Now, what has the captain given a reason for that? I just like to know what his thoughts were. A senior member, it's always good to know what they're thinking.
Oh, well, I mean, I haven't personally talked to the captain in some time. I mean, look, some people have been complaining about the amount of engagement that the captain's having. But, I mean, we do get orders from them, like as in, all the time. We just don't see them very often. But, I mean, we get a lot of orders on the system, so it's okay. So,
I see.
yeah.
Now, I noticed on the manifest a lot of these orders would be signed by the first officer or their co-pilot. Has that been the same for all of the other systems? All
Oh,
of these other.
okay, so Ben, so minor correction. So what you were looking at was external orders, as in requisitions
Okay, yeah,
for
sure.
goods and other things.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So yeah. So that's what that was in reference to.
Okay. I think he'll nod thoughtfully, and then if they're otherwise engaged, he might just lean over and say, as an aside to, I don't know, Zero, Vandal, and Gar, there's something going on here, and they are not prepared.
Well, Zero Vandal goes, yeah. It might be wise for us to find out at least a little bit about what's going on with the captain.
I agree.
Perhaps something for us all to be worried about. I don't actually want to think about what might happen if, the captain is complete. Like if we get into trouble, yeah, that would be a problem, obviously.
I hope you still think that this journey was worth the cost, and also I hope that you can help with training some of these people.
I can. I mean, I can. Yeah.
Excellent.
But I mean, we might need to talk to this first officer to get that to happen, by the sounds of it, or we might need to track down what's going on with the captain. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so you have that conversation. It only takes about a day for you to meet Barbarous, is it? To get to Barnabas. Is it Barnabas or Barbarous? Hold on, let me have a look. What's the name of the last location? Up your hand. Maybe it is. Maybe it's in there. That's Gahan system. Oh, it was here. Sorry. Lighthouse Barabbas. Lighthouse Barabbas. So the ship sails forth into the darkness. So far, just in flat space, making its way towards the edge of the system. There's the big signaling tower / structure of the Lighthouse Barabbas, which obviously Nalette, you grew up in and fled because you decided the Navigators Guild were terrible people and you didn't want to live with them anymore. You're about to enter the Slipstream when a message is received, which you all have visibility of. Alert, the Slipstream cruiser Meharabi has not been heard of since entering the Kerfata stream en route to Habanatam. Please keep sensor systems ready. You may have an opportunity to find out what's happened to the ship. Please be aware, Captain Jandar Hassam was in charge of the ship.
Okay.
Now, of course, that's well past Gahand and on that pathway through to Habanatam from Gahand. So you're not even at Gahand yet, but you get that message downloaded. Alrighty. You're about to enter the Slipstream. Now, the tradition is, of course, you go to the captain's table and have a proper formal meal. So you're at the captain's table and you've got all of the various senior representatives of the ship, but you also have your trepo. You also, well, actually, you have everyone. So you have all the crew who can be freed. You have all of the leaders. You have even Benny is there, right? Like, I mean, you know, everyone is at the table as the ship slips into the slipstream past the lighthouse Barabbas. There's the shaking sound as the ship enters the slipstream, which it does successfully without any particular issues. And the first officer rather is sitting at the captain's chair, or sitting next to. Oh, is they sitting at the captain's chair or sitting next to it? I think they're sitting next to the captain's chair. Actually, I think they're not sitting at the captain's chair, which is notably empty. But they raise the tradition of the 3 glasses. So you might recall there's a tradition about the 3 glasses having to break at just the right moment. But the captain is meant to lead that. So it's all a bit awkward and everyone's a little uncomfortable. And you hear, particularly amongst the more, and these are people who are wearing little Coriolite symbols, so various, like, crew members, also some of the people who've joined the ship with you, who are wearing their little Coriolite symbols, sort of, you know, making little prayers to the judge or to the traveller or to the spider. There's a whole bevy of icons that are prayed to, and as a matter of fact, you hear Benny in the background. Sort of, he's pulled out a little spider amulet, which is all a bit obscure for all of you because none of you. Are any of you actually? Oh no, it's Rada who's a Coriolite, isn't it? Or at least
No, it was Maristo.
All right. But none of you are. None of you are Coriolites, and the spider is a particularly obscure icon. Can I get everyone to make logic tests at -2 dice, please? If you've got what is it, cultural savant? I think it is, isn't it, Pripyat? You can add that to the roll.
Can I use the sort of character history stuff again? Ben was, the Coriolis guard, and
no, because the spider is really obscure.
Religious. Okay,
no,
sure.
Spider's really obscure.
And so, did you say -2 dice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was in. Sorry, did logic? Okay.
Logic, yeah. I've got to say, Aman's pulled it out of the fire.
And so has Nadir.
So has Nadir. So much for that. But Ben and Pripyat have not. Okay, so the spider is a very obscure icon. Might be related to the Traveller, who knows? But they're like the dark icon at the end of travel who winds in ships to their doom. And you pray to the spider in the hope that it will pick some other ship other than your own to wind into its web.
You know why it's Nili and Aman who know this? It's because when we were like trying to repair that spider bot and we were like going and like trying to find out anything we could about it, we would have come across this thing.
That's pretty cool.
Information while we were trying to repair the spider.
Yeah. So he's got this little amulet and he's praying to the spider. And he's mentioning the name of the ship that you just heard in the warnings, the Mahariba.
Oh. That it's going to get taken by the spider?
He's actually saying, in his prayer, he's actually saying, since you've already taken the Mahariba, your hunger will be satisfied. You know, do not drag us into the web.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can only feed, kind of once a year.
Yeah.
Because you're a spider. It's actually pretty dark. Like, for both of you, it's a pretty...
Yeah.
Up until now, Benny's been this kind of slightly comical character who drags around a whole bunch of icons, but ripping out the, kill 60 other people rather than me, gets a bit dark.
That's a bit much.
But that's what he does. He prays to the spider, and particularly starts doing it when he realizes the captain's not going to do the toast, and it's all a bit awkward. So, the captain the first officer rolls to break the glasses appropriately, and fails. Yeah. So. Even worse. So as you enter it, it's like, this is really inauspicious, right? So she breaks one glass, and then she goes to destroy the second one, and it doesn't work. And if you remember, on the other ship, there was a whole... Well, I've already worked out what the trick here is. You just break them at the right moment. Like, they literally had a hammer to break them. They didn't, trust to the luck. So the first officer's trusted to the luck, and it hasn't worked. And the ship hits the slipstream, and you're all like, fuck, we're all going to die. You've got Benny going, oh, spider. And he's saying it in Coriolite. He's saying it in this older language. He's making these prayers to the Coriolite in this older language, which you can barely understand. And then, you hit the slipstream, but then there's a shaking sound, and everyone's like, we're all going to die. And then it breaks through the slipstream, and then it's just like smooth sailing into the darkness. And all you can hear as the lights of the ship dim, as all the power goes into the turbines, which are wound up for the first time in 10 years, to operate, because that's the other thing, is for the first time in 10 years you've got your slipstream turbines coming on, so the ship's power draws in, and it all goes quite dark and shadowy. As you hit that moment, all you can hear is Benny going, spider, take the other ship, spider, take the other ship, spider, take the other ship, spider, take the other ship. And you sail into the darkness. Are you feeling lucky, people? Are you feeling like you're on the right ship?
Not feeling lucky.
I think I'm going to be praying to the judge. I don't know. That's probably completely inappropriate. Wait, would it be a traveler or something?
It's the traditional, So the icon that is most, but you might not like the accuracy of people's understanding of what the icons are and who they are. It's completely random, right? Yeah. And the judge was a pretty big. So one thing to say is there was a whole faction of the Coriolite of the Third Horizon that only worshipped the judge.
Nice. Okay.
And they believed all the other icons were just emanations of the judge.
Okay. Well, Ben will be praying to the judge to help them on their quest, and the traveler to get them there safely.
Yeah. And importantly, that particular faction was all about elite combat capability. They were the scary, technologically advanced combat monsters.
Sounds appropriate then.
Yeah.
Sounds like Ben.
Yeah.
And unlike some people, he's going to keep his prayers quiet because, geez,
it's a bit embarrassing to be praying out loud. I mean, that's all very last century. We're all much more civilized, secular people now.
Well, some of them are.
Some of them are. By the way, Ben would probably know if he's worshipping the judge in that way. He doesn't have to adhere to this, but his understanding is that group of Coriolites were known as the pariahs.
Okay. Cool.
Rob's fought the pariahs. They're scary.
What's your Trevor's reaction to what Benny is doing?
Actually, that's a really good question. Can I get an insight roll at -2 dice from everyone. Remember, he's got the flat mask, so you can't really see you can't see his face or anything like that.
Again, trying to take advantage of this, seeing as Ben kind of knows the family a bit. Does that get anything, or I don't know?
Oh, got some successes there. Pripyat noticed something.
Got to pass something at some point.
Yeah. So Pripyat, you do. So you can't see your Trepo's face because, of course, it's hidden behind the mask. But from the set of the shoulders, and the fact that he's, kind of praying. Oh well, nice, well done. Ben.
I don't know if I did that properly though. How many was I supposed to roll?
Well, what's your insight?
Probably that.
Oh, well, I got a success anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter.
It does not. I would take the win. That's always my advice in these scenarios. Okay.
Well, once again, the dice have matched the story, so
yeah,
the history or whatever.
Yeah, so your Trepo is just sort of praying to all 12 icons, like just rolling through the icons and praying to them, even the faceless, who is the most random of the icons.
Would any of us be able to tell? Does it sound kind of just like rote, or is it sort of?
It certainly sounds. It's kind of like the Lord's Prayer, or it's a formal prayer that he's saying. Like, it's not a kind of energized thing where
it's not Benny's thing.
Yeah, it's a formal prayer. But you were asking how he's reacting to Benny's like entreaties to the spider. Yeah. He looks. From the set of shoulders and the way he's like kind of sort of looking sideways at Benny, he looks deeply uncomfortable with Benny's utterances.
Okay. Well, yes, Benny is quite weird. He'll be the first one against the wall when the revolution comes.
He will. It's inevitable. It's kind of Benny's lot in life. It might not kill him, though. I think that's an important side note to that statement. Is there's no assurance that being first against the wall will kill Benny.
And it's the leader of it.
Yeah. Benny's likely to find a small hole at the bottom, at the bottom of the wall that he can scurry through while the guards are distracted by something else. All right, so you enter the Slipstream. There's a moment of silence, like I said. Everyone holds their breath, expecting the ship to basically shatter into 1,000 pieces. The lights went down. There's a couple of people praying quietly to themselves. There's Benny's very energized prayers to the spider. Take the ship, take the ship, take the other ship. And then the ship breaks through into the thing. The turbines spin up. You can hear the humming, the grinding humming sound of the turbines being activated, and then that weird sort of dislocating effect of the Slipstream taking the ship and carrying you forward. Your brains are always struggling with the Slipstream because it feels like you're just travelling at normal speeds, but you're actually travelling faster than the speed of light. So it's this incredibly disconcerting realisation that if we hit a speck of dust, the ship explodes. Like, anyone with any understanding of the science or the physics of this goes, all it would take would be a speck of dust and our ship would explode. By the way, Rob, you're on mute. I don't know quite what's going on there, but you're talking, but we're not hearing you. And you are on mute. I just hovered my mouse over your video, and it's got your little red thing there.
I know he's had problems with lag.
There we are.
I always had problems with lag. No, I'm just asking how much of the stuff that falls off our ship is causing problems for people behind us.
Yeah, no one really understands how the Slipstreams work. It's probably best. It's probably for the best.
So when we're in the Slipstream, life for us continues as normal, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So has it after the second dinner where the captain doesn't turn up? I think Pripyat is going to start to see. He's unsure whether the captain's actually on. Has anyone seen him? He's trying to find people who have seen him, have had direct control, or, contact with him. Just to make sure that the captain is actually there and is okay and is actually in charge of the ship, not someone else that we don't know.
Okay. Before you do that, or while you're doing that,
Yep.
a key question is, everyone on the ship works while it's traveling, so there are crew assignments. Now, do you guys have any? So the crew assignments are ice duty, which is literally crawling around the hull and the inside of the ship, destroying ice and blight infestations. There's hull guard, which is standing on the hull on watch to watch out for things that come to the ship, like things that live in the slipstream, and fending them off. There's repair detail, which is literally wandering around doing engineering maintenance. There's sensor patrol, which is climbing around the outside of the ship and repairing all the sensor relays and other things. You'll notice there's a trend here about climbing around the outside of the ship. There's guard duty, which is actually watching the crew and making sure there's no random mutinies and other things. And then there's reactor duty, which is working in the reactor. Now, in addition to that, I think there's a couple of other things, and a couple of things you guys are already doing that would suggest that some of you at least have already kind of worked out, you're already going to have assignments. So Ben Nasir, for instance, probably is on guard duty because they've said I'm going to do this training and I'm going to do this. The other one that's not listed here is obviously you can take on a sort of, I'm going to assist the command crew in navigation, and I think Nalette with your super sexy astrolab that you've got, there's probably an expectation that you're going to go and actually use that to navigate the slipstream.
Yeah, I need to learn how to use that properly, and
don't tell them that you need to learn how to use it properly. Maybe just,
no.
But maybe Nalette does, because that's a Nalette statement right there. It's like, oh yeah, I got given this and I don't really know how to use it, but I'm sure you guys will be fine if I just learn on your bridge while we're navigating the slipstream. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? So that does put you, interestingly, it does put Nalette directly in the command crew, like on the command crew deck. But I have a question for the rest of you. So Aman was talking about helping with the life support systems of the ship.
Yeah, I'll do maintenance over hull guard any day.
Yeah, so that kind of sounds like repair detail, but specifically in relation to the life support systems of the ship. Now, the $1 million questions are, or the $1 million question is, does Pripyat want to try and make sure that they get a particular job? And if so, what is it? Or are they going to trust to the fates, or the icons, depending on whether you believe in the icons? Does Pripyat believe in the icons? That's an interesting question. Because it's not assumed. You don't have to, right?
I don't. I think Pripyat understands more the social aspects of them, in the cohesion thing, and understands that, but also understands that where society is now compared to where it was, even as you said, 100 years ago, is different. I think he grew up, saying the prayers and doing the things, but his faith has lacked. I don't think he's probably seriously engaged in it in more than a intellectual sort of pursuit in quite a long time. Yeah. I think he's sort of more about how other people believe, which is fine. He's okay with that.
So he's like an 1880s kind of vicar, in one of those classic sort of, oh, well, yes, I mean, obviously I'm a vicar at a church, but I don't actually believe in God. I mean, that would be very gauche.
Yes. So I think he understands more from that social aspect, and also the archaeology. He's very interested in how that has dictated, society. Off. I just said that. Off. Get society. She's such a bully.
And on that note, noting he's into social cohesion, does he support religion as a form of social cohesion?
Probably more for others than himself.
Oh no, absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's for the uneducated masses. I mean, I'm sure Pripyat has a very clear vision of who needs religion.
Ritual. Ritual, and that, and this thing where they're all, everyone's praying to a particular, icon or something. He understands that gives people comfort, and that's fine. But Pripyat is probably, he's like, that's fine. I understand why they're doing it, but that's not really for me.
And just to ask, what about Nalette? Does Nalette believe in the icons?
No.
Like the Navigators don't. They are very staunchly... To be a member in good standing of the Navigators is to be staunchly secular.
Yes. No, she absolutely is.
And as a matter of fact, that would be true of any one of the three great guilds. To be a member in good standing would be to, if you did believe, you certainly wouldn't be telling anyone. Because, they overthrew the Coriolites, after all, and claimed a more secular world, and have worked very hard to drive down, not particularly successfully, but to drive down worship in the icons.
Yeah, and I think Pripyat thinks that the Coriolites are to blame for a lot of that, And he's seen these different levels or layers of Coriolite understanding or knowledge that they haven't shared or have tried to hide. So it sort of that confirms what he sort of thinks.
Have we lost Thomas?
No, I was just doing something that I didn't want to. I was just giving Al a hug. I went to bed.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, cool. And just to round out this question, Aman, where does Aman stand on icon worship?
Aman's probably grown up with his larger family
who are all reasonably willing to throw any icon's name into the mix if it sounds like it might get them
absolutely
a win.
But I suspect if he did it wrong around Grandma, she'd probably slap him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, yeah, Aman grew up in the sort of in the narrows of Aluminum Bay and those areas, right. and religion is held very strongly in some of those areas.
Yeah. But for him himself, he knows that something's possibly watching over him, but he's kind of an opportunist for himself. So he makes his own luck, so to speak.
Right. Okay. So he's an opportunist in the sense that he thinks mostly he manufactures his own luck.
Correct.
Whereas Benny is an opportunist in the sense that he's carrying 27 icon amulets and rips whatever one seems most likely to get him a win.
Exactly.
And he's very staunchly devout to that icon in that moment.
Absolutely. That's
all right. And then finally, I assume Ben is a believer, but it's a question.
I mean, I think that we've established over the last 3 games that the first Coriolite family that he served, I think they were like a branch of the Almasi family. They were really religious. When he was a kid, he really loved all the stories about like the Third Horizon. And so he just got sucked into that really hard. And it was part of why he was just really loyal to the Coriolite families that he served. And now he still believes in them. And as at length went on about in the past, maybe not so much the Coriolites themselves now, but he still very strongly believes in the icons, especially after those a few roles that we've had in the last few games.
Yeah,
let's say.
Where it's like, please icon. Oh wow, there you go. Look, it works. And just
I have my hand in an urn.
And the good news about the pariahs, he probably doesn't know their full name because it's been lost in the history of time, is for Ben, the stories would be about these these kind of crusading knights almost. Like,
he would be.
the pariah were the salvation of the Third Horizon, not once but twice, defeating the forces of darkness from the First Horizon with their great ships in the darkness, crewed by devout orders of monastic warriors who sang songs in honor of the icons as they charged into battle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be like 100% his absolute favorite story.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, Lamort de Arthur meets Coriolites, right? Like, I mean, it's the sort of, the triumphant paean of, Ode to Fortuna playing in the background as the ships sail towards the enemy, blasting with their mighty, sort of... And matter of fact, Ben probably grew up on the story of the Pariah warship that destroyed planets and stars in defense of the righteous.
Yep, I can just see him as a tiny little kid just like listening to these stories and just getting completely sucked in by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love the idea of Ben being some sort of fanboy of the Pariahs. By the way, I do need to say I think the Pariahs can be the good guys in the stories in the Third Horizon. It's just that you meet in the first campaign, you meet the fanatic sociopathic side of the Pariahs.
They've got all the personality of ICE agents.
They do, yeah. Those guys in particular did. There are other Pariahs.
Yeah.
Don't forget they run all the hospitals in the Third Horizon as well.
That's right.
All right, so on that note then. All right, cool. So you guys, we've now established the religious context of all parties. Not that I need to know at all, ever, that's a thing. The ship sails into the darkness. Oh, actually, this whole started with Pripyat. What are you doing? And somehow we've, what I love is, does Pripyat make a roll to make sure that no one actually gives him a job?
Yeah, pretty much. He's waiting for his expertise to shine in the beyond once we get there.
So
Walking the halls with a clipboard.
I mean,
sort of dodging.
I think Pripyat would probably have.
Is Pripyat the scholar? He needs to be a scholar. A scholar cannot dirty their hands with this plebeian work.
That's exactly right. I have minions for that, and I think he'd have a 7 if there was a score for busy face. He would have like a 7 on that.
That's right.
So yes.
So can I get Pripyat to make a what is it? What's the thing I'm thinking of? Empathy. That's it.
Empathy.
Yeah, and you can throw, if you've got a talent you think is charmer. There you go.
Charmer. Yep. Sounds like Pripyat.
Sounds like Pripyat to a T.
I'm late for a meeting. I must go. Down the hallway.
Thank you. Just if you leave a message with my people, I shall get that for you. All right, how many ones can I roll? Fuck. You know what?
Do you want to push that roll?
Yes, I think I do.
Good. Do it. Pripyat's not afraid.
Is there a thing to push the roll or just roll it again?
Yeah, it's in the chat channel.
Right.
We rolled.
Oh, yes, push. Oh, shit on a stick.
Once.
Oh, we got one.
Well, the good news is this is like you're not going to
quite a demanding task.
Like you'll recover the hope. Like that's
that's why I pushed it. It's just stupid machine.
Pripyat is unable to dodge work, despite his very valiant attempts to do so, and is sort of caught out by the first officer, who arranges for you to be given they give you a choice. So they work out, and this happens a couple of days in, right? So everyone's been given job assignments. Pripyat has broadly just run silent for a couple of days, and no one's actually noticed, and then obviously someone comes and hunts you down. It's the first pilot, not the first officer. So the person who's actually acting as the first officer comes and finds you, Meram. she corrals you in a corner of your room, effectively knocks on your door, corrals you in the corner, and then mandates that you have one of two choices. You can either take on the role of clearing out ice infestations when they occur on the ship, or you can be responsible for working in the galley with the cook to ensure that people have food.
You won't be walking very far in the galley, so your
Now,
leg
the
will
difference between
heal
these two
better.
roles for your awareness is you will only have to worry about the ice infestation when it happens. Of course, you know, it might
And you're on
be
the outside of the ship.
yeah, when it happens, yeah. But if you take the the cooking job is like Pripyat has to basically spend 5 or 6 hours every day doing meal prep with the cook and is basically on that duty all the time.
I think Pripyat will take the outside of the ice thing, but I think Pripyat has no interest in it. So he's going to be bad at it. Like he'll be out there doing something else, maybe reading or something, while he's in just in the thing. Just he's got a notebook. He's sitting. He's got mag boots, but he's actually sitting on the hull as the thing goes past, doodling and writing notes and stuff. So he's terrible at it and doesn't really. He's not that fast.
Okay.
Oh no, that's the word. Weaponized incompetence.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
My brothers
that
used
is
to do that to get
perfect.
out of cleaning as well.
So I have a theory outside of the game where, with my partner and with some of my friends, I'm just like, I just can't figure out how it works, and they invariably say, "Get out of the way, you idiot, and I'll sort it out."
Yeah.
So that's what he's going with that.
He's building in that sort of planned obsolescence model.
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. So.
Yes. He's what is it? What did Slutty Bartfast say? His mind's attuned to other things, or highly attuned to other things.
Yes.
Okay, so the darkness. So you guys are now heading out into the 4 weeks of travel to Gahand on this really safe, well-known route. The first week passes pretty uneventfully. Now, Pripyat, you were going to use your time to try and really work out what's happening with the captain, weren't you?
Yeah.
So
that was
in your weaponized incompetence, or whatever we're calling it.
Like it could be including going onto the bridge saying, "Oh, I seem to have the wrong scraper for the. Is that in the cupboard here?" Like he's just gonna turn up in places where he probably shouldn't be. He's relying on the fact that we have kind of sort of special status on the ship with the mission, and he won't be completely difficult, but he will disarm them in ways that maybe he's weaponized incompetence, basically. So yes, that's what he wants to find out. He wants to clap eyes on the captain and then make his own sort of assessments as to that illness, fitness, whatever's happening with that captain.
So going onto the bridge, you never see the captain.
Okay.
Even no matter how, you try different shifts, you go, because you've got to, in the week you try different shifts, you never see the captain.
Okay. Well, then maybe he will talk to, is it maybe Ammon's probably the best one, about finding out where the captain's cabin is, that sort of thing, on the schematics, and just, one day he'll so I've shifted today to the they needed some help in the kitchen, and look, a pot of tea service just knock on the captain's door. Like he's going to keep working out.
So the captain's cabin is above and just behind the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can imagine the ship sort of rises like that, the bridge is sort of to the front-facing bit of the ship.
Right.
Rising above that is the captain's cabin, which is placed right on the hull. When you go to the captain's cabin to just kind of knock on the door, the door is there. It has been welded shut.
That is, yeah.
So the door has been welded shut. Now, Nalette, one thing you know, because you've been up on the bridge a lot, assisting in the navigation and learning how to use the astrolabe, is there is a ladder going up into the captain's cabin.
Yeah, okay.
But the actual external, the corridor-based door is actually welded shut, Pripyat. It probably takes you a day or two to get to that point, or maybe even a couple of days. But yeah, when you go and check it out, it's welded shut.
So at the earliest convenience, when he knows that the others in the group are not, doing things, and I assume we get together, fairly regularly for meals and such, just to finalize our plans. He will definitely let them know that and just say, there is, I've been snooping a little bit about for the captain, and nowhere to be seen. And is it, Aman, tell me, you may be able to know, is it common for the door to the captain's cabin to be welded shut?
Not unless there's a technical issue. And in this ship, who knows?
It's funny you should say that. When I was examining the crew manifests and supply before we left Jamur, I did notice that over the last year or so, all of the external supply and manifests had been signed by someone other than the captain. I just thought it was carelessness at first, but then on our first night here, I was speaking with the guards people, and they haven't seen the captain for a long time either. And they say they get orders, but it's not clear whether they're really coming from him. This door being welded shut is extremely concerning. Now, Pripyat, you were on ice duty. I'm sure you were doing a great job on it. Is the ship particularly prone to blight? There's only one thing I can really,
I'm curious, because if this ship was mothballed for 10 years and this is the first voyage since, and they obviously, do we know if this captain was the previous captain? Do we know any much about his history? Because if someone else is running the ship, why is that? And who is that? The first officer would be the one, I would assume, or perhaps maybe some of the Coriolis. But
it's very odd, because you would think if the captain could not be the captain, they would just appoint a new captain. The first officer would become the captain.
Indeed.
But, well, the door might be welded shut, but there is another way into the captain's quarters. I've seen other people use it.
Oh, really?
Use a ladder.
It exists. You haven't. Make a perception roll for me.
Perception. Right, I'm pretty good at perception. Sorry. Here it goes.
The other thing is there windows from around the captain's cabin?
On the
You'd
outside?
expect so. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that would be good, because I could, while I'm not watching for ice, I could go and check it out.
Yeah.
Let's go with yes.
Oh, for goodness sake. I'm going to push that.
Yeah, but not a single one.
Oh.
There we go. 1 success. 1-1. But anyway, that's fine.
All right. You have once seen someone going up there. It was the first officer. climbing the ladder to the captain's cabin.
And was she carrying anything when she went up?
A crew member.
That's funny. No.
No. Okay. So I've seen once the first officer going up the ladder to the captain's quarters. Well, that's what whoever I was working with told me. But that's it. But how is he getting food?
Would you be able to tell us? Sorry, I'm assuming that you have more technical knowledge about ships and such. Would you know? As the question about are there portholes or anything like that into that, or is there a way we could? Is there any external? I don't want to open the ship to the vacuum, but is there another way we could maybe find a way in? Because you and I are both at periods on the outside of the ship. Is that correct? Is that what you're
No, I'm inside. Well, I mean, I'm doing maintenance mainly on the garden systems and life support.
Okay.
So, but the life support can extend to the whole areas and things. So there's a reason for me to be out there, most likely. But I'm just curious of just looking in the window to see if, for example, whether things are all blighted in there. For example.
Yeah, well, if there is one, then I would. On the next time I go outside the ship, I would make a point of going there and just, scouring, looking for a porthole or a window or something.
Yeah. Well, the next time you go out on the ship, I'll probably come with you. So, because there's probably a bit of a walk around on the ship.
Yeah, and I don't recall Pripyat having particularly excessive or impressive skills in relation to actually going around outsides of ships.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's kind of the plan there we can do. But yes, getting into the room, it would either be go up that ladder or cut through a wall or a door that's been bolted shut, which we can do, but it will just take time.
Yeah.
And we
it
need to
won't
make
be
a distraction.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, just
That's
as
right.
a
I'll just
side
say-
note, like, everyone will know you're doing it. It's not like I creep in and I get my welding torch out and I cut a great hole in the side of a ship.
Yeah.
The alternative where I attach the charge to where I want the hole, which is less subtle as well. So yes, I think we need to do a bit of an expedition outside the ship.
All right. Well, that will have to be next session because
Yeah.
it's 10:30.
Yeah.
I will just
Definitely
say
good
one thing, Nalette, you have how do I put this? The captain. You can see that the captain has run the numbers for the jump for the slip into the slipstream.
Right.
The captain has.
Well, at least that's what it says on the computer system.
Yeah.
Okay. Possibly, it'd be interesting to see what the timestamp is on that.
Yeah. Okay,
Whether
so I'm going to
somebody's
start
gone into his
paying
cabin and done it, or what?
a lot more attention to when I see things coming that's like from the captain, and if like the first officer's in the room when that happens, or if she's out of the command area.
All right. So make a logic roll. Do you have any sort of computing systems?
Data gin sort of stuff. Yeah.
No, not that.
Okay. So just logic then. Ooh,
Yeah.
2 successes.
Nice.
All right. Well, no, it's not very often, but you go back through the sort of logs of activity, and it actually does appear, and I want to repeat, not very often. So like not even every day. but maybe once every couple of days. And certainly whenever the ship is entering or leaving the slipstream, that the captain, or at least the captain's key, is calculating jumps. Now, two things strike you about that. One, that in and of itself is actually reasonably unusual. Like, captains don't usually do the navigation calculations. That's what you have master algebrists for.
Mm-hmm.
So they do navigate. Like, the captain commands the ship. They don't do the math. Exactly.
Yeah.
They might be able to, but they don't do it. Most captains are Navigators Guild trained, so they can in their own right do the calculation, but usually it's done by the person for that job. The second thing you notice is with your two successes is they're exceptionally good. Like, these are highly tuned algorithms for making the jump successfully, or the slip into the slipstream, and they're pretty impressive.
To the point like I'd be studying them and going, oh, I should learn from that.
They're like really, really elegant.
Yeah.
And the thing they do, which really impresses you, is they really do, because a big part of these calculations is the mass and the weight of the the mass of the ship as it enters and leaves those slipstreams. And these calculations are really finely grained, accurate, and driven off a high degree of accuracy about the actual mass of the ship when it's entering or leaving the slipstream. And of course, that mass varies, because that mass includes all of the supplies that you're carrying and all the people you're carrying, and it's taking account of those things.
Interesting.
Right. On that conundrumy note, we shall cease.
Yeah.
Now, one minor thing, Mike, if you get a chance to think about it, at least it would be good for you to think about how you want to spend your experience points to.
Yes.
Yes. So I will leave you to.
I will. I've been a bit slack with that.
To do that thinking.
I've added